Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jamila Daura. I hope you are all doing well. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for clicking to watch this video. I hope you subscribe before you leave. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you for sticking with me. I hope you watch this all through to the end, and do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let's rub minds together in the comment section as we always do, and I hope you take one or two things away from this video. So today I'm here to talk about hair removal. From the title, I want to demonstrate hair removal on the face mainly, and also just kind of give a sneak peek on hair removal on the rest of the body, a general theory that you have to follow when you are taking hair off of your body from any part of your body. So I have an array of products right in front of me that you all can see. These products range from sugar wax. This is the most popular hair removal product. This is something you can do on your own, or you can all buy in store, like this one is. This is a Vit sugar wax hair removal. I find it that it works well for me. It has some kind of hair growth minimizing formula in it. This is because when you use the sugar wax, the one we make at home, it takes at least 6 to 8 weeks before the hair grow back. But when I use this, it's been more than 8 weeks since the last time I took off hair from my body with it, and this is as much hair as I have on my body. If you can notice, it's very thin, it's very scanty. I've been able to push my hair removal for as long as 8 weeks. So I will be demonstrating with this sugar wax today on my arm. This is a facial hair wax. This is in strips, and this is a very good brand that I've been using. This is the Nads Natural Facial Wax strip that I have been using, and it have never given me any form of adverse reaction or breakout. Or, you know, the one thing that people fear the most is that when they wax their face, it leads to breakouts, or it leads to rashes or bumps on their face, which is really not true. I will explain that part of it later. Another hair removal product is this Flawless DERMAPLAIN blade, or DERMAPLAIN 2. So this is something that I see a lot of people have been using, but again, if you don't know what you're using, or you don't have sound knowledge on the how-to of tools, you might not use it to your advantage. And I see a lot of people use this, and I see them use it wrongly. I'm going to demonstrate in part the use of this DERMAPLAIN 2. Okay, so I am here at the demonstration table. I just want to show you all the consistency of the sugar wax. This is a leftover from the one that I used the last time, and I just want to use that to demonstrate. This is basically the consistency you should be looking for. And other than that, you don't want your sugar wax to be too hot, because you don't want your client or yourself to suffer from skin burn. The skin burn is very bad. Some are very superficial if it's just from pulling the hair that the burn occurred, but if it's from the temperature of the wax, if that is the reason why the burn occurred, it can be scarring. It can scar your skin. So you just have to be very careful with the temperature you work with. A few things you want to take note of when you're waxing the hair on your body is for you to take note of the direction of growth of hair. This applies to anybody. If you're working on yourself, if you're working on a client, most importantly if you're working on a client, like if you are a spa owner or you are into the yaranjiki, you just want to make sure you take note of the direction of hair. The benefit of that is for you to be able to remove the hair from the root. That is why hair waxing is still the best way to take hair off our body, because when the body naturally sheds hair on its own, and when it does, the hair falls out from the root. It does not, except when they break prematurely. The hair do break prematurely when the shaft is too weak for it to hold up. Sometimes it falls, sometimes it breaks on its own and it just falls off. So in times like this, you just want to be hopeful that when it's breaking off, it breaks off midway, not just at the root of the hair shaft, where it can leave hair hair that cannot come off on its own, like old grown hair. That is what leads to ingrown hair on your body, because once the hair breaks off from the root but not completely from the shaft, it curls back into your skin, and that is what leaves you with ingrown hair. And sometimes this ingrown hair becomes infected and it becomes pores or pimples on your body. So the direction of growth of hair is is the most important thing you have to be considerate. For me, my hair grows in this direction. It grows lying like this. It does not grow straight on my skin. This is my left arm, so it grows towards the left side, and same thing for my right arm. It grows towards the right side of my body. So that is how my hair grows on my arms. Another important point is that you want to make sure your skin is dry, so long as there is no oil residue on your skin, and so that it can receive the wax properly. And when I'm placing my sugar wax, I place it in the direction of growth of the hair, and there is this hair strip that makes it easy for you to take the sugar wax off and gently press on it, still following the same direction. A lot of people will quickly want to go this way to lift the hair from the body, but when you do that, this is how skin burn occurs during waxing, because you are applying tension to the skin and you're not taking anything off, and from there, that is where bruising begins during waxing. So you want to go in the opposite direction. It's a controlled motion, and you don't have to, you can, if you are using your hand, you can press. If you're using the traditional sugar wax, this process is done when the sugar is pressed on the skin like this and lifted off. So I'm going to just fold the excess. I hope this works, and this is it. And that is how much hair I got out. Really, when you take out the hair in the direction of growth of hair, it's a lot easier, it's a lot painless and faster for you to work with. So I'm going to go ahead now and do this arm and come back and give you a side by side with my other arm. Okay, so I am done with half of my left arm. It took me about 10 minutes to do half of it, and it's faster even when you have someone to do it for you. But this is a side by side difference. This is the waxed arm, and you can see how immediately my complexion looks clearer than my right arm. It is very important that you nourish your skin after a wax procedure, because nourishing your skin allows for important nutrients to get into your skin. Waxing is a exfoliating procedure, so ideally when you are exfoliating your body, it is not really advisable for you to use two aggressive exfoliating procedures at the same time. Say for instance, after this I probably will go do a mechanical exfoliation using sugar scrub or body polish. That would be too much and too abrasive on my body. But the better alternative is for you to do a treatment mask on your body. So I will move into the next part of this video and all that. So yes, I'm going to just quickly demonstrate to you all how I remove hair from my face and general theory that you should follow when you intend to do this procedure. Whether you intend to use a cream or a blade or a wax, any of these choices, there is a general theory for this. Like I said, I'll be demonstrating the use of this and the use of that, and I will do this. I'll just show you all how I get this done and what you need to know. This is the strip. This is what it looks like. It's a sugar wax that have been sealed into a strip paper, so to make it easy for you to take to use, like put on and take off. So once you get your strip like this, you need to warm it up. You need to really warm it up, and that does not really take time. Just quick rub on the strip itself. You also need an up close mirror, like a magnifying mirror. I have two here, this one and this. So let's use this one. So you want to look into your skin up close and define the direction of growth of your hair. Generally on everybody's face, there's hardly anybody you would find with hair growing upwards. It's always downwards. So remember, on the arm, you look at the direction of hair of growth. On the rest part of the body, for different people, for everybody is different, but for the face is usually downwards. So when you are using your strip, you want to stay away from the part of your face that is really fleshy, that is right under your eye, because it's fleshy and also has very thin skin, and it's very easy for you to bruise it. So you want to stay within this range, within the range of your forehead, depending on how much hair you have growing. And when you get your strip ready, you want to start from the bottom of your jaw. So you just, let me lean in forward, you just place your strip, press it against the skin, and when you're pulling, please do not pull this way, because when you pull this way, you won't be able to lift off any hair properly, and that will hurt you. And that is also for any other part of your body when you're waxing. What you also want to do is, okay, now that I've placed this, I'm going to kind of pull on my skin a little bit, and how much hair I got off from my one side of my face, the one I just did. If I had no cash to spend, if I forget we had plans. The hair on the T-zone area grows upward. Yeah, for this side we pull downwards. When I feel like breaking down. So I am done with the sides of my face. It's remaining right here and my upper lip, which up to today, these two parts are the parts that hurt the most when I wax. I don't want you all to see me cry or see me shed a tear. So I just want to also tell you all that if you cannot endure the pain for the upper lip waxing and the chin area waxing, you can always use your dermaplaning tool, which honestly that is what I use most of the time. Again, other areas that I use my dermaplaning tool is right this sides of my face that I said the skin there is very thin. But I just want to show you all that when you are dermaplaning, there is always the need for you to either add mist to the face or moisture to the face, water or oil to the face. This is totally a choice you need to make, most especially depending on what you're comfortable with. Whatever you choose to use, whether water to soften up the hair or oil to soften up the hair, you still need to follow the same procedure as to getting the hair upwards and not downwards, because upwards make sure that the hair still comes off in the direction of growth of the hair, and so that when the hair is growing back, it grows back properly and you don't prematurely kill the hair falling. You do this and you pull on your skin gently and you go upwards. That is how you dermaplane. Dermaplaning also removes dead skin from your body. If you do that, just get a white cloth and rub it off, and you'll see how much dead skin comes off your skin and how much pitch fuzz you have that you think you do not have. So I'm going to link everything in the description box. If you want to purchase any of these, do tell me which of these items are your favorite and which one you'll be likely trying, and thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to give this video a thumbs up. Let's talk about this in the comments section, and subscribe please if you're new here, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so that you get an alert for every time that I upload a new content. Thank you and stay blessed. Bye.
I got you.